So, in the taxi, I jotted down a few thoughts. You see, I hate really talking at memorial services. I suppose the only one I would have enjoyed would be the funeral of the Human Rights Commission. And all of its dreary fascist adherents. Last week in Macquarie Street, I attended the launch of Bill Leake's new book of cartoons, to which I recommend you buy a second copy. I witnessed the deplorable interruption of this event, serious event, by an Australian diplomat called Les Patterson. And he made a speech in doggerel, which was really in flagrant violation of human rights and the tenets of good taste, and above all, the laws of versification. So Les, unlike the man we honour today, was always an embarrassment to Australia. Way back in the 80s, in fact, in London, at a press conference, a brilliant and ambitious Sydney QC accused me and Sir Les of damaging Australia's international reputation, to which the assembled British press laughed. Well, Australia has somehow survived my treason, and surprisingly, despite our tattered international reputation, the world still loves us. However, impugning a fellow Australian's patriotism is, well, it's a cowardly method of attack. It leaves the onus on the victim and shows what a fine patriotic fellow you are to spot and punish the enemies of our almost always superlative lifestyle here in Australia. I think the taxi went over a bit of a bump then. But I'm sure this incident, this regrettable incident, is now forgotten and even repented by the gentleman who made the mistake of fucking with me. Sorry, ladies, that just slipped out. You know the feeling. Now, Australia is a very dangerous place for an artist. As the painter William Dobell discovered in 1943 when he won the Archibald Prize. I don't think Bill entered on that particular year. With his portrait referred to by the Prime Minister of Joshua Smith, and it ended up, of course, in court, and he had to justify that his work was art and not caricature. Well, imagine how Goya or Daumier or Lautrec would have fared in an Australian courtroom in 1943. The famous composer and conductor Eugene Goossens. Eugene, a man's name? Eugene Goossens was forced to resign from the Sydney Symphony and the Conservatorium of Music and had to go into shameful exile thereafter, when some erotic photographs were found in his suitcase after a tip-off from a journalist on the Sydney Sun. Richard Hickox, a more recent conductor of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, was vilified by two female singers whose own careers had disappointed them. And us, as a matter of fact. Because Hickox had suggested his wife, the supremely gifted soprano Pamela Stevens in an operatic production. Now, their cause, these women, their cause was strenuously upheld by the Melbourne Age and of course, the ABC. He died of stress-related heart attack at the age of 60. Even I, in 1973, had 2 books banned on the grounds of obscenity. Seems impossible, but true. And when in 1968 I shipped my collection, or some of my books acquired overseas, back to Melbourne, a little man from the Customs and Excise came to my home for a week and scrutinized every single volume, looking on every page for some evidence of my moral turpitude. I remember this little man's face, so dull, so earnest, so diligent, and most dangerous of all, so nice. He probably spoke a bit like that, I think I remember. He did sound a bit like Sandy Stone, as a matter of fact. Mr. Humphries, I'm just perusing some of these publications. Now, on the eve of further persecutions of Bill Leake, he's been snatched from the jaws of the PC jackals. I saw him last week, only a few hours really before his tragic and sudden death, and he was laughing. How his laughter would have really enraged his enemies. That laughter would have so disappointed the humorless rabble who attacked him so viciously, so vindictively. Today we offer our love and our support to his family, one we didn't know about over there, and our thanks, of course, to the Australian News Limited, who gave him such loyal, continuous support. But our gratitude goes to you, Bill. We were right to salute you and to love you as we do. For in this land where we adulate the unexceptional, you achieved that rare thing. You helped us Australians to laugh and think at the same time. Thank you very much, all of you.